I'm coming, G. Hold on a second.
Uh,
Cut the wait time down and get into it. What's up, good people? Welcome back to Sip Salad Films, and this is Coach Evans. And just beat the Bengals, and I really at a loss for words with some of the stuff I saw. But we got a call already. Godson on the line already, ready to spear his fire, and we'll get into our regular routine after the call. Appreciate you calling in, Godson. What's good with you?
what's up with it, Coach?
Just trying to process what I saw offensively, man.
Hey, you know what? I want to start it off first off by shouting out everything that y'all did last week on Engraving page. That was dope.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see the community come together, all the Raven creators, and then of course the fans. We come and show our support. That was an amazing episode. It's a guy named Black Man Thoughts, I think, something like that. He got a great YouTube channel. We got a lot of people that's really doing it for the Ravens, and I just want to say thank you for y'all taking the time.
No problem. I enjoy doing it. I really like this. Doing this thing has opened up a whole nother avenue of communication with random people. Like I feel like just for you, for instance, I feel like you one of my boys, and I ain't never seen you a day in my life. It just opened up that whole with Engraving is like that. Nubo is just it's another thing of how as people we can come together and find some kind of commonality and realize we just like each other. No matter what we look like or no matter what our background is.
Yep.
For the most part, we like each other.
Especially during these times, man. It's just crazy out here, but I don't want to keep man of you just calling in and acting like I'm not happy for a win. I understand we didn't have a preseason this year, so the first 4 games was kind of technically like the preseason. And I understand Lamar didn't practice 2 days out of the week or whatnot. But come on, man. Yeah, we won, but if we were really playing some real competition, we would have lost.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
But no, we would have had a chance to win because defense was lights out.
Oh, defense was
Defense
crazy.
was lights out.
But if we playing competition, that old line might not look like that.
True.
So, defense was lights out. That's the best part of the day, hands down. Defense. I felt bad for Joe. For real.
He gonna need the masseuse, the ice tub, and everything else after today.
Yeah, we definitely welcome him to the NFL for sure. But I think, man, like you got J.K. Dobbins. You run him one time, he ran for like 30-something yards. I'm not sure the exact amount.
Mm-hmm. Nice run.
And then you don't run him no more. Yep. Yeah. Then we don't see him no more in the game. Like, what are we doing? Like, if you one rush and you can give me 30-something yards, I'm gonna keep feeding you.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like Giro is kind of like, and this play calling is kind of predictable, man. If I see Lamar turn around and fake to the right again, I don't know, man.
Every time he does that play, you speaking of as a defender right in his face.
Mm-hmm. Every time. He did it like he did it every week since the beginning of the season. That's the side he keep going to, the right side. No, yeah, the right side. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a complainer, but man, we got to get it back in motion. I understand what we 4-1. They say that's the best start since 2012. All that's great, but And we
He
got a
ain't look
bunch of
good.
more easy games coming, but we gotta tighten up, man.
I agree with you 100%. Defensively, man, you couldn't ask for a better defensive game. You took a rookie
Oh yeah, it
QB
was crazy.
and you took a rookie QB and you made him pay. You made him pay.
Hmm.
And but offensively, we got it, man. And like we won what 20-3? Was it 20-3?
27-3,
27-3.
right?
Because we got a defensive touchdown. But we scored 17 points in the first quarter. And I don't think we scored any more.
Hmm.
Other than a field goal. Because the defense, scored that last touchdown. After the first quarter, I was like, okay, we finna roll over these dudes. Like, for real.
And even though we don't like talking about it, Lamar is by far everybody's guy. That's my man. You understand? But he technically should have had 3 picks this game.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
like I said, I don't want to be the guy that complains, but we gotta tighten up, man. We should be, cause like all jokes aside, I'm still upset about the Kansas City game. I know it was 2 weeks ago and that's in the past, but I feel like we a better team than them. I feel
Especially
like
when you see what the Raiders did to them.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Man, we could beat them, but we beat ourselves every time. And it's not necessarily the players, it's the play calling. Well, the players wasn't doing what they were supposed to do either. But mainly the play calling, man. I think when John go against Andy Reid, he be feeling like that little brother.
Yep.
Like he don't want to, I don't know, man. But overall, we 4-1. I can't ask for more.
Right.
But I just got to be honest with myself and admit that I'm not liking what I'm seeing on offense.
And I'm with you. I like the fact that we 4-1. And like I said last week, I'll take, a 3-1 quarter split every time. That's what I'll take that because that puts us at 12-4. But and you gonna have to win some games like this. You're gonna have to win some ugly games because like when we play a good defensive team, it's gonna be ugly. But when we play the not so good teams, which I think we all can say the Bengals is one of those not so good teams, we should like completely dominate. Especially with as good as our defense was doing. Defense gave us like the ball back. I don't know how many 3-and-outs they had, but they, we got the ball back a lot. And if not for that fourth quarter when they just said, forget it, we're going to run the ball, we probably would have blown them out in time of possession. Because the defense didn't step. They looked fresh the entire game.
The entire game. Yep. And Metabike, he looking good out there, man.
Yeah. I saw him get some pass rush up the middle. I saw a couple times he was double teamed. The one thing I do like that we did offensively was we trying to find us a right guard. Them boys basically had a tryout today. Powers and McCarry basically had a trial today because they kept rotating them in and out. Now I don't know what Phillips did, or maybe he just ain't the answer, or whatnot. And Phillips is hurt, is he?
Yeah, I think he hurt.
Phillips
I think he hurt.
So yeah, they basically had a trial today at right guard. They rotated Powers and McCarry in, and I don't know. I guess Fluker just gonna be the backup tackle. I guess because I didn't see him get in at guard at all.
And if I be real with you, I like McCarry. I like
I do too.
McCarry since last year. I feel like McCarry, we doing the same thing what we did with JK. Like when McCarry was hot, we just say, all right, go ahead and have a seat.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do want to say a few more things, man, before I get off this
No, go ahead.
phone call.
Go ahead.
Marlon, that boy, he earning every penny
What?
of that deal. That boy is a baller, man. Marlon Humphrey is a beast. And I got Patrick Quinn, won the defensive player of the year this year. That boy, he ain't look good against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that game, that boy been balling all year long. I think he got like 2 sacks, a touchdown. Like it's gonna be hard for him not to win defense. I mean, I can't say that because I don't know what everybody else is doing, but he balling, man.
Yeah, he I know he got sacks. He got a defensive touchdown today. He's active as far. I know he got pass deflections too. And like you said, the Chiefs game, he got kind of turned around because the Chiefs was doing some crazy stuff that game. But if you take that game out, he definitely balling. And I don't know what other rookies, other people got, but he's playing fast. He looks fast, and he around the ball all the time. Even though Marlon punched the other ball out, he right there scoop it up and be gone. Got a sack. He got the trifecta on Joe Burrow. He got the sack, fumble, and recovery.
Yep. And he got a forced fumble, not today, but he got that on his list. I think it was like week 2. He got a forced fumble, and no, week 1, because Marlon Humphreys was the one that recovered the ball after he got the forced fumble.
He definitely balling.
He balling, man.
And like Troy says in the chat box that Marlon is in talk for Defensive Player of the Year. I can agree with that.
Oh yeah, I agree with that too.
Big time.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's setting the tone every week. And Peters got another pick today.
Yeah.
That kind of go on the radar. Yeah. Peters got another pick.
Also,
that secondary coming through.
Say, we gotta let Judon go after this year. I'm sorry. Yeah, he had a decent game this year. But I'm getting tired of all these false starts. $16-something million a year. Come on.
And he missing sacks.
That should have been a pick for Clark. I'll say it again.
I said, and he missing sacks too.
Yeah.
But I think the one that Clark got the interception on, Joe knew that he had the guy offside, so he just kind of threw it up. I don't think if that was it was a free play. I don't think if it wasn't a free play, he might not have threw that, but he knew he had a free play, so he just was trying something.
But yeah, at the same time, like you say, he'd get pressure. He'd be right there, but he never makes the tackle. He never makes the tackle. So, I mean, we'll take our little third round compensatory pick next year. And
keep it pushing.
Call it a day.
Because right now, Bowser's playing better than him anyway, to me.
He is.
Bowser's playing better to me right now anyway. We got pass rush with 4 on one play. I don't remember exactly what play it was, but I remember tweeting about it. We actually got some pressure with 4. And if I'm not mistaken, man, BK might have been in there when that happened. Because a couple times I saw him in there, he got double teamed. And that left other people free.
Hey, Coach, can you make a video on BK?
I can look at his reps and see. I definitely can look at his reps and see. But I know I want to try to look at the I could do that and look at that right guard, what they did with right guard. Because I don't even want to talk about Lamar this week.
Macari.
Yeah, with Macari and Powers. I don't even want to do nothing with Lamar right now. Somebody told me I was a Lamar hater when actually added, I'm like one of the biggest Lamar fans. I want him to do good, but I can't just put on 8 blinders and not call him out when I think he's not playing up to par. So.
But it's funny at the end of the day. Even though we know he ain't playing up to the level of what we know he's capable of playing, that boy is still like 24, 25, and 3 or something. 20.
Yeah, I don't know what his record is. He ain't lost, but he lost 1 game in the regular season his first year. He lost 2 last year, and lost 1 this year. So he was ever in 4. He's lost 4 games not including playoffs, as a NFL starter. So we good, man. We expect more out of him because we know he got it in it. We know he got it in it. We just expect more out of him, and even though we're critiquing him, it's not like a negative connotation. It's more like we know you're better than this. Show us. We know you're better than what you're showing. Show us. And it could be play calling. It could be something in his head. We don't really know because we ain't there. But we just want more for our QB, who's the reigning MVP. Yeah. It doesn't look like he's trying to do stuff that he's not accustomed to doing. He's trying to be something else. Like I tweeted earlier, I said, do we have a pocket passer now? Is that what's going on? There were a couple of lines where he could have ran and got the same amount of yards he threw for, or it was an incomplete. So. I know he said he didn't want to run as much this year, but come on, bro.
Yeah, you gotta play your game. Yeah. Even though I'd be real, he made some pretty passes today. Like the one that he threw to Hollywood, that Hollywood dropped in the end zone. That was a good ball. You know what I mean? Even one when he was running and he kind of like threw at an angle, and I think he hit Hollywood or somebody. He did some good things,
Yep,
but
he
he did a
did.
lot of things that he could work on.
Yep, he did, and that throw is hard to make. Again, and I talked about, I think in a video, he was running left, squared his shoulders and threw it right, and threw a strike.
Yeah, I
Threw,
watched that
threw it good
video. I
enough
watched
to
that video breaking that down.
threw it, the one today he threw a strike too. He threw it enough to where Hollywood could turn around, see what's going on, then outrun people. Hollywood doing a good job with his yak too. He doing a good job of running out the catch. Good job.
Yeah, and I don't even get mad at him going out of bounds.
No.
Like if he ain't built for it,
Right.
get on the sidewalk. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
So he go out of bounds. I ain't mad at him. I will say last thing though, with dang, I was gonna say Lamar. Dang, I forgot for real, Coach. I had
It's
something
all
else
good.
I wanted to say.
It's all good.
I'm getting old, Coach. But man, as always, man, I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all calling next week for real.
Okay, appreciate you guys, son. I enjoy your week, buddy.
All right, man. I do the same thing.
That's God's on everybody always calling in, showing love, showing support. All right, let's get back to our regular intro. He was on the phone before the 5-minute countdown was on, so I had to cut the intro short and run it. Hey, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Melvin, what's up? Jay Will, Justin, Troy, Trevor, I see you. Who else we got? Eric G, I see you. Big Ump, what's good? Jay Rum, I see you. I see you guys in the chat box. I appreciate you guys joining us. But let's kind of get back on schedule and run through this stat book a little bit. That's what I normally try to do after the game, run through the stat book, see who showed up on paper, then talk about what I saw with my own 2 eyes. So I'm scrolling down the list. Obviously, we won the game 27-3. Tucker made a 46-yard field goal. I thought he was going to make the 61-yarder too. He had enough distance, but it just was off to the right. Andrews with a 5-yard catch from Lamar. Hollywood with a 2-yard pass from Lamar. Tucker with another 39-yard field goal. Patrick Queen with a 53-yard fumble return. And Bullock with a 38-yard field goal, which was the Bengals' only score. Individual stats. Ingram, 15 for 47. And matter of fact, what I'm going to do is when I talk about their stats, I'm going to talk about what I have for them as notes. So that way we can kind of knock it all out at one part. And we can kind of get to our afternoon football. Ingram, 11 carries for 57 yards. He had 2 big carries back to back, which was probably the bulk of his yards. One of them was 20 yards. But what I don't like about that, Ingram is not a stretch runner. Ingram runs counter, power, and dive. Why are we trying to run stretch with Ingram? He ain't a bad running back, but we got better options to run outside zone / stretch with. Ingram is not that dude. Again, Gus had 7 carries for 25 yards. Put Gus in that same category. Gus is downhill. He's a downhill guy. Why are we trying to run stretch or any kind of outside zone with Gus? He's a downhill runner. Run dive, run ISO, run counter with him, run lead with him. Why are we running stretch with Gus? Why? I don't understand it. Duvernay, good play call early in the game on that reverse. Good play call. It was creative. It was Chiefs-esque, so to speak. It was like they was thinking out the box and they got that in there, and then went back to our regular scheduled program. Duvernay got the 42 on the reverse. Lamar had 2 rushing attempts for 3 yards. He said, let that sink in for a minute. I'm not froze. 2 rushing attempts for 3 yards. Now, with that being said, that'd be a great number if he threw for 300. But he threw for 180. Threw it 35 times for 180. That's a 71% passer rating. 71.9 passer rating. Now he made some, and Godson talked about it, he made some good throws. He really did. He made some good accurate throws. His sidearm game is on point. Like hitting people crossing and throwing little dots. But forcing the ball sometimes. Forcing the ball. And I feel like he's too loosey-goosey with it at times when he trying to maneuver in the pocket. If you going to try to be a pocket passer, which is fine, because eventually you're going to have to do that because your legs going to eventually, give way. When you maneuver in that pocket, you got to keep 2 hands on that ball. You got to keep 2 hands on that ball. You got to learn to tuck that shoulder and all that good stuff. He know all this stuff. He's a professional. I'm just a regular high school coach. He got professional guys that all they do is football all day. So he know these things that I'm just pointing out. He just got to do it. Because the first time they get a good pass rush in there and somebody swipe at that ball, it's going to come out with one hand on it. I don't care if you got hands like a TV screen. One good swipe and that ball going to come out. Hit the wrist in the right spot, hit the ball, that ball coming out. So if you're going to be a pocket guy, do the mechanics right. Be mechanically sound. Be mechanically sound. Be Lamar. Don't try to be nobody else. But, and it's we won, and I know I sound like Nancy Negative right now, but offensively that was so boring. That was so boring. Defensively, it was hype. Defense got after they butt. Blitzes all over the place. I wonder how many sacks we had. No, let me get ahead of myself. Let's go back to this sheet. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Pass catching. Marquise had 10 targets, 6 catches for 77 yards and touchdown. Andrews had 9 targets, 6 catches, 56 yards and touchdown. Let's talk about Andrews a little bit. Andrews on his touchdown was not open. But that just shows you how much Lamar trusted him. Andrews was not open. And if I'm not mistaken, the pass to Andrews was one of the plays that I think Lamar could have ran for a touchdown also. Because like the protection widened the guard, the guards widened the pocket, the tackles widened the pocket. There was nobody really in the middle. But he stayed in the pocket and, delivered the ball to a covered guy. Which, we had a touchdown, great, fine, happy. Because Andrews was probably was PI. Probably was PI. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in his mental, man. I don't know what's in his mental. I ain't gonna harp on it too much. But the play I'm most impressed with Andrews was Lamar tried to give him a chance on a jump ball, and he went for a tight end. Andrews got some ups, boy, because he skied over number 30 for the Bengals, even though he didn't catch it. But I understand why Lamar threw it up there and gave him a chance, because Lamar got mad up. I mean, not Lamar. Andrews got mad ups. Mad ups. And like I said, I knew what Lamar was trying to do, so I ain't complaining about that one. And I was just crazy that that Andrews got ups like that. Duvernay had 2 catches. Ricard had a catch early in the game. Boyle had a catch for 2 yards. Not really a lot there in the catching department. 19 targets for Andrews and Brown, and 3, 5, 9, 12, 15, 17. So 17 for the rest of the team and 19 for those 2. So and somebody said this on Twitter, I think. So why don't we just put everybody in a 15 or 89 jersey, and I bet we have more completions. We put everybody in a 15 or 89 jersey, and we'll have more completions. That's that way that works. We'll get it like that. All right. Peters had an interception again. Marlon had a forced fumble. Queen had a defensive touchdown. Let's see how many sacks we had, because you probably definitely get a sack party video. Time possession. I harp about time possession every week, and we lost again. We lost time possession by 9 minutes. But I'm gonna stick by my time possession trait. We have to win time possession, and we lost time possession by 9 minutes. They had the ball almost 10 minutes more than us. They had it 34-39. We had it 25-21. So we 4-1 though. We 4-1. I'm good. I'm happy with that. I've got another call on the line. Go ahead. Who I'm speaking with?
You on it quick. My name's Chance. I'm from Omaha.
Okay. Go ahead. What you got?
I know. I just hopped on your video late, so I'm gonna come back to it earlier and watch what you watch. Also, appreciate what you do and the videos and the content that you drop. Allow us to get more insight on the game and on the team. But and tell me, you might have already touched on this or another caller, but it just seemed like the offense not progressing. Lamar is not exactly where we need him to be, and it's like things on offense are somewhat predictable with the play calling. And like you just said before I came in, if it's not Andrews or Hollywood, other people not getting the ball, and I hear everybody always dog Boykin and dog. I mean, really Boykin's the most, but it's like, how can you really know if somebody good and they only getting 2 targets? How do you know what you got when everybody else getting targeted and I'm not? And I think that also I think that also plays into why he don't always be prepared for his routes or be prepared to get the ball. Because, like, after a while, if you played football before, especially that position, it's easy to get in your head, like, the ball not coming to me, Lamar not going to find me. So I think, like, people too hard on Boykin, and I think the offense in general, Greg Roman and Lamar need to open up the passing game, get more creative, and get more diverse. What say you?
Bro, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I was a high school receiver in a wing T offense, so I know exactly what you're talking about. After so long, the ball ain't come to me. Like, when you do get that chance, you really you tapped out. You tapped out. You mentally you tapped out. Yes, mentally you tapped out. I understand completely where you come from with that, and that may be the case with him. We may not use him right, and we threw the one fade to him that like, he really, I don't know if he quit or didn't know the ball was coming.
Miscommunication. It looked like Lamar was going for the quick fade, and he thought, I don't know what he was thinking. I'm just right. and everybody got mad at that. But even there, it wasn't going to be catchable anyways.
Exactly.
It still wasn't catchable.
The ball was almost to the stands.
Like, it's like the offense give us, like, okay, we get Hollywood going, we get Andrews going, and then it's like nothing else is available. Or I'm seeing certain downs or certain formations, and it's like we only have two people and maybe a running back going out for a route. Mm-hmm. But we got it's two people going out for a route and Andrews. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you showed it last week with the breakdown that you did. Sometimes it's the play calling, sometimes it's the coverage, sometimes it's the line. So we know it takes so much for a play to hit. Right. But it's just hard for me to believe that there's no way to scheme Boykins into the game, to scheme Duvernay into the game. Mm-hmm. Even I feel like Hollywood doesn't get used enough. I think they should use Hollywood on the inside in the slot more.
I agree.
Honestly, I feel like Hollywood would thrive in the slot more. He's smaller. We can see if he has that quick twitch, if he has that ability to push off that ankle and do certain things with his quickness and speed in the slot in comparison to pushing him on the outside. Because really on the outside, he can get manhandled by larger, more physical corners. Where most slot corners are not going to be as big. I mean, we're very unique in bumping Marlon to the slot. Most of your slot corners are going to be the Tavon type of build, so they can keep up with those smaller, shiftier slot type receivers. I just get confused with the whole offense at times, and I'm feeling like until they start to take those strides, nobody's going to be satisfied when you really watch the team or when you really know football. Because I'm sitting watching the game and I'm like, I know this is a run play. I know this is going to be two people going out for. I know there's going to be two people going out for a route, and the route combination may not even be on point. And so I just see a lot, and of course it's not the best game from Lamar, but even if you watch the game closely, even sometimes it seemed like Joe Burrow was under a lot of duress, but just the way he would move and maneuver and slip and get out some of the rush, I'm feeling like Lamar hasn't fully developed that. I feel like sometimes with Lamar, it's the play where he almost run into the ref, and you end up kind of doing too much. When it's like on that one, bro, either take off or just throw it away. Take off or throw it away. But you want to take off, try to make a play, and we know that's a part of Lamar's game. And I don't want to take that away from him. But I feel like it's like when you're going to take that risk, when you're not going to take that risk.
It's like he's doing it too much.
When I'm going to take.
It's like he's doing it too much.
It's like he's doing it. Yeah, it's like he's doing it too much. And it's like sometimes I feel like when Lamar gets pressured, he kind of. He loses some of his poise. He loses some of his charisma. And it's almost like he want to hurry up and get it out, or he wants to hurry up and extend the play. And sometimes it's like, hey, throw it away. Hey, tuck it and go. Hey, dump it off and let it and see what the running back or see what the flat route or see what the intermediate route is going to do. I feel like sometimes Lamar has to pick and choose when to stretch those plays, but I also think the pass combinations and the pass plays have to diversify. The pass packages have to diversify. If you're a safety, you're a linebacker, and it's Hollywood, Andrews, and one other person, it's like, really, we guarding two people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even worried about the other person because I know more often than not Lamar's not going to him, and I feel like as an old coordinator and as a head coach, and this is where I really start to look at the Ravens and wonder if that's their weaknesses. Where is John Harbaugh's real expertise at? Special teams. You don't become a Super Bowl win. I mean, like a lot of people know, that year that they won that Super Bowl, he had Hall of Fame talent, Hall of Fame leadership on the squad. But I just sometimes I just look and I say, what does Harbaugh do great? Is Harbaugh in an offensive meeting or a defensive meeting giving insight or giving details of which Greg Roman would not have seen, or giving insight and details that Wink wouldn't have seen? It's almost like Harbaugh lets Wink and Roman do their thing, and of course Wink did his thing today. This was a great game by the defense, but I'm just wondering what does Harbaugh do to really make the team great?
That's a great question.
What does he specialize in? Like, we know Andy Reid is in the offensive meetings cooking up stuff.
Yep.
Andy Reid may go to the old coordinator and say, hey, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. Maybe we need to jump on this. Maybe we need to jump on that. And the old coordinator may say, whoa, I didn't see that. Let's do it. So I'm just wondering, where does Harbaugh, when it comes to coaching and schematics, take you to the next level? What is Harbaugh seeing that Greg Roman is not seeing? What can Harbaugh tell Greg Roman that Greg Roman doesn't know, or Dean Pease that he doesn't know? Or what is he catching that they're not catching? Or are you just really just running the ship and not really bringing too much specific, benefits or quality to the team?
I feel you. Every guy I've worked for, and keep in mind this is on a smaller level than the NFL, the head guys I work for, they always come in the meeting, whether it be offense and defense, and give their 2 cents on what we should be doing. And now when they say, hey, I think we ought to do X, Y, Z, they're saying it like, this is my opinion. But if anybody with common sense knows, sucker, this is what you better do, because the head coach.
If it's the head coach,
right, right. So we don't know if he going in and dropping those nuggets like you say. He should be. Because ultimately, it's going to fall back on him if success not there.
So like I said, this is the question. What are you telling me that I don't already know? Yeah. Bill Belichick can go into a defensive meeting and see something that the D coordinator didn't see because it's Bill Belichick and he has that history. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid can go in the old coordinator meeting and say, hey, I'm seeing this, this, and this. And the old coordinator really can be like, whoa, because he has that background. I'm just wondering, what is Harbaugh able to really make those adjustments or give that knowledge or insight that may be needed to really enhance the team on both sides of the ball? And right now, of course, it's looking like offensively things just aren't clicking, from play calling to formation, even to Lamar. And I want to hear your opinion on that. With how do you feel about that comparison? Well, I've seen Joe Burrow, he made some slick moves getting out, and of course we had 7 sacks, but he made some nice moves, maneuvered in the pocket, got out of the heat. But it seems like a lot of times Lamar struggles to do that.
Now, when you look at Joe Burrow, the stuff he was doing with his shoulders and sliding left and right, he did that stuff last year too. So he already had kind of got that pocket presence about him. Even though, like you said, we sacked him so much, so that's just a progression on part of his game that he already got. Now you think about Lamar as far as in college. I don't think Lamar had that ability to duck and slide and do all those things. Because in college, he just, if the 1-2 wasn't there, he took off and he was faster than everybody. So he has to learn to just move that shoulder or slide by a guy or to step up or to step back without, because it's like he's trying to take off and then he's seeing stuff, then trying to throw, then his mechanics all jacked up.
Right, and it's like, I feel like if you decisive and you pull it and you want to run, it's going to be better. But when you, and I mean, like I said, he can make those plays, but you got to pick and choose when you make them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He can make that play where it's like, okay, I bait the defense and then I dump a pass off. He can make those plays, but I feel like he has to start to develop and be more decisive. So it's like, okay, if I'm tucking it, I'm going. If it's not there, I'm throwing it away. If it's a blitz, I'm going to my hot read. You know what I'm saying? But then also on the back end, Greg Roman and these guys have to be telling them all these things. And I just feel like today I'm watching this game, and I mean, of course it's a dominating game, but we're all looking at the offense and just wondering, like, when is it going to click? When are we going to hit? When are we going to see Lamar take those strides that we know he needs to take? And I mean, everybody who's a Ravens fan, we love Lamar, but I think some people love him so much they're scared to criticize him. And it's like Lamar did not play a good game today. You know what I'm saying? The offense as a whole did not play well today. And I feel like if we don't nip these things in the bud, it may just be another first round exit, or it may be, we make it to the playoffs and we finally get that playoff win, but the Ravens won't be real Super Bowl contenders because they're not tightening up those loose nooks and crannies that need to be tightened up to truly be a Super Bowl contender.
I agree with you. Somebody put in the chat, but I think it was Lady Ram. She said, we're not talking about the O-line, which brought something up. Orlando Brown gave up a sack while still engaged with the guy. Did you see that?
I got mad at Lamar because I said, Lamar, how did you go down like that? You just let him push you to the ground. Like, Lamar, I know you're stronger than that.
Orlando Brown gave up a sack
That's
while engaged on down.
Where it seemed like Lamar just fell down and the defender just like pushed his hand on him and he just fell.
Yep, Dunlap sacked Lamar while Orlando Brown was still fully engaged. Orlando Brown was in his chest. And we're trying to figure out what we gonna do at right guard. So we own Lamar today, but it could be the same thing like I talked about last week. It could be all that stuff. It could be, but last year we were so used to.
And until you break the film down, we don't know because when you was breaking it down, you letting us see the angles, you letting us see the offensive line protection. So a lot of times when it happens so fast, and I say to a lot, like, man, I want to see that play again. I want to see that play again because when you really know football, there's so many factors to a play.
Right.
There's so many factors.
All 11 guys got to do it. All 11 guys got to be on.
All 11. All 11.
When you on defense, it don't take but one person to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you on defense, it takes one person to win an individual matchup on defense to wreck a play. On offense, all 11 got to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I feel like too with how dominant the defensive performance was, it furthermore was letting us down as fans watching the offense underperform.
Yes,
because the defense was dominant.
Whoa.
I mean, Cincinnati couldn't do. Cincinnati, they couldn't do anything, it seemed like. So to continue to see the offense get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity and really never get anything going outside of those 2 touchdown drives, it just wasn't impressive. And then another thing, and I don't want to hold you up too much, so I'll get this one and let you continue, but it seems like Greg Roman gets indecisive too in regards to when he wants to really run, when he wants to pound it, and when he wants to throw it, and when he wants to mix it up. Because it seemed like towards the third quarter, one of those later possessions, he wants to start to overrun. And it's like, now you overrunning when we should have been dabbling and running the whole game, and now you want to run every down.
Right. It's like he hears us saying run the ball, then you're like, okay, I'm going to show y'all I'm going to run it every down.
Right, and it's like, don't run it every down. Not every down, but mix it up.
Right. Now, let me get your opinion on this. And this was the point I was making right before you called in. In that drive that you're speaking of, we ran outside zone with Gus and Mark Ingram. And they are not outside zone guys. They downhill guys. If you gonna run outside zone or stretch, with some kind of variation of it, that should be Dobbins and Hill. I don't even know if he was active today.
I don't know if Hill was active, but it's so funny that you say that. It's like we have this conversation and we kick it back over some wine or some nice wine or something because you read my mind because I was just on Engraven Live and Engraven said Dobbins gets the ball one time for 34 yards and we never see him again.
Right.
So these are things, and I was just about to say the same thing. How are we running these zone plays? Are we trying to get to the edge? And we don't have Dobbins in the game. How does Dobbins get one touch for 34 yards and you no longer see him in the game? So these things confuse me as well, and I'm starting to wonder what. And I mean, we know, being black men, we know certain things that go on within certain realms of football and access and coaching, but it just confuses me how individuals like the Chiefs O coordinator can't get head coaching jobs, and Greg Roman is the top guy for head coaching jobs last year, but the Chiefs O coordinator is much more diverse in what he calls. He's much more thorough in his offensive playbook and package, if you ask me. So I just think Greg Roman, his offense starts to become predictable. You start to be able to scheme in on what he's actually doing. I feel like the formations are predictable. So predictable to the point where I know when you're in a heavy formation, you're either throwing a Hollywood Andrews or running. I know when you're in a wide formation, you're either trying to spread it out, do something with Lamar, quick quarterback draw. So it's like until and I mean, they haven't ran a quarterback draw before, but I feel like when we have 5 wide, everybody knows they're passing. When we have 3 receivers, everybody knows we pass. And it's like we don't stay balanced within the offense, and it's almost like based off of formation, you can know, okay, they running. And then if you really keying in and you really doing your film study, like I'm sure a lot of these D coordinators are, it's like, okay, I know they running here on this formation. I know they like to run there on this formation. It's almost like we watching the offense, and it's nothing new. I feel like I'm almost watching the same offense as last year, but the defenses have adjusted to it better. And let me ask you this, too, because I'm starting to feel like they're going to the RPO too much, and defenses are ready for it, and it's making it not useful because they're overusing it.
Right. Now,
So
I was
it
going to say
doesn't
that
have
same
the surprise effect anymore.
That we look like we running the same offense from last year, and we got to realize that other teams get paid for this too. They've had the whole summer to analyze and run numbers and look at formations, and the only really diverse play call that I can remember off the top of my head today was the reverse to Duvernay.
Only one. That was the only one. That was the only one where you said, okay, Greg Roman is dialing something up. But it kills me because we know in the Chiefs game, it's 5 or 6 plays where you like, I don't know if I've seen anybody do that before. So I'm just I'm just confused with the diversity, with the creativity within the offense. And it's like Greg Roman gets paid all this money and he gets all of these accolades, and it seems like so many people support him as an old coordinator, but he continues to run similar stuff. He continues to run the offense of last year with no new layers and no new wrinkles, and I'm feeling like with Lamar's progression, if the offense doesn't begin to open up, it's going to slow Lamar's progress. I feel like if individuals are not holding Greg Roman along with Lamar Jackson accountable and getting other players involved, scheming other players involved, then it's going to make Lamar Jackson regress, and the offense is going to regress. Because in my opinion, there's no way that that Lamar throws the ball 23 or 25 times, and Mark Andrews and Hollywood have 19 of the targets.
Right.
But then if it's Joe Live, everybody banging on Boykins. If it's Engraven Live, everybody talking bad on Boykins. If it's Nubo Live, everybody talking bad about Boykins. But it's like, dude, we don't even know what Boykins can do. And everybody calls for Prochet or Duvernay, and that's fine, but is Lamar going to throw it to them? So it's like we can put Prochet and Duvernay in the game, but Lamar still has to give them attempts. If I'm a wideout and I'm a legit number 2 wideout, what would you say, Coach? I mean, I need at least 6 to 8 attempts. I needed 6 to 8 targets. 5
minimum. And I know we're running the team. 5 minimum.
I mean, so you can at least see, okay, he's not coming out his cuts right. It's timing. He's not high pointing the ball. We don't have no film on Boykins even attempting to catch balls on the cornerback yet. We're so quick to call him trash. And I just don't think that's fair. And it may be Boykins, but I feel like if it's Boykins, if it's 50% Boykins, it's 50 Lamar. Or if it's 60% Boykins, it's 40 Lamar, because you still got to get your wide receivers open. The quarterback is the point guard. You can't just pass it to certain. You got to get everybody involved.
Yep. And a lot of it got to be trust. A lot of it got to be trust and chemistry. And that don't look like they have much of it. And I don't know if it's they ain't working together or what. It's just, and he don't have a big enough picture to say he trash. Because I don't think he trash. I don't think he's trash.
I don't think he's trash neither.
But he ain't
and I'm not
going to
say he's trash until he get more attempts.
Yeah. And then it don't look good what Claypool doing either. And they from the same school. It don't look good at all.
Exactly. So I'm just confused. So I mean, when you break the film down, you break everything down. Maybe we'll get a better look at everything that was going on. But I mean, it's like Lamar will miss Andrews deep, and then he'll throw it to Hollywood deep, and it's a great throw. But the defender kind of gets his hand in there last minute, and Hollywood can't secure the catch. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can never get in stride. It's like Lamar may put 2 or 3 good passes together, and then the rest of the passes will be all for their tips. Or it's just not on point. And like even that interception he threw, I feel like he snuck in that zone coverage, and Lamar may not have seen him, but I feel like that's just Lamar predetermining who he wants to go to. Mm-hmm. What did you see on that pick? Because I'm feeling like Lamar's dropping back and saying, okay, Need is my hot read, I'm getting rid of him.
He definitely got fooled. Because I looking at it live, I thought the dude was blitzing too. I did. I mean, and like I said, it's the NFL. They make good calls too. They get paid to play. He got fooled, and I ain't tripping about it. But it just happens. It happens. But the one I'm worried about is he threw an incompletion that was almost picked. That even if the guy didn't come out there, he wasn't gonna catch it no way because he threw it at Snead's feet.
Yeah. And I think he had another one that was almost a pick. I think Lamar could have had 3 interceptions today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
or it might have been 2. Because I know he had one that fell in the defender's hands. It was a linebacker, and it fell right out of his hands.
Yep.
He threw it right to him. So I mean, I'm starting to feel like Greg Roman and the offensive coordinators are not challenging Lamar enough or challenging themselves enough to make progressions within the offense, and that's concerning me because the division looks a lot better. The schedule eventually is going to get harder in the playoffs.
Yep.
And
it's early.
Lamar's going to be highly scrutinized. Everybody watches Lamar. Lamar's highly scrutinized, and I feel like sometimes they don't go out there and dial up the best plays and call the best offensive strategy or put the best offensive strategy together for Lamar to succeed. But not just Lamar, but Boykins, not just Andrews, but the other. Because usually Boyle, he catches a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like everybody says, well, we really miss Hurst, but how much do we miss Hurst when Boyle never really gets involved? I don't remember Boyle dropping too many passes this year. Do you?
No, not at all. Not at
all. I don't remember him dropping too many. So it's like until we're seeing those games where Andrews has 5 catches for 75, 80 yards. Boyle has 2 or 3 catches for 40 or 50 yards. Boykins has 6 or 7 catches for 80, 70 yards. Like, that's what I look for. Like, I'm tired of seeing, as much as I was happy to see Hollywood get that touchdown, and, I want Hollywood to thrive, of course, but I'm tired of seeing Andrews and Hollywood. Even though both of those throws to Andrews and Hollywood were great catches and great throws, I'm just tired of it because it's like, show me something new, Lamar. You show me you can do that. I want to see more. I know you can get it to Hollywood and Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that, but I want to see more. And I don't know if it like the videos you break down that shows everything. But between coaching and Lamar and the wide receivers, things have to get better because you can't be a Super Bowl contender targeting 2 people a majority of your pass plays.
Right. You're 100% right, and I'm going to address the chat box when we hang up because a lot of people kind of want me to address what they're saying, and this was a great call, and everything you said been spot on. But to wrap it all up, we're 4-1, which I know you're happy about that. It's early, it's game 5, and to me, in my honest opinion, this is technically game 1. Or maybe game 2 because of the lack of preseason.
Yeah.
So we got a week or so to kind of fix. Like you said, we was rotating guys at right tackle. People in the NFL don't do that.
No, they don't.
They have
do that.
5 guys.
They don't do that.
So we trying to find a mix, and we trying to figure it out. Which is the good part. You see them actually doing something different up front to try to figure it out and get 5 guys to have chemistry. Because when you get 5 guys that play the entire season, for the most part, you probably gonna have a winning team. You probably gonna have a winning team, and we trying to figure it out. And it's frustrating because our offense didn't do what they did not perform like we want them to perform, but we're doing enough to get victories and to stay in competition with the number 1 seed.
This is true. This is very true.
So we gotta look at it both ways. Yeah,
well, y'all not gonna keep holding you up. We appreciate all the content that you do. That you release, and we'll be looking forward, of course, to the breakdown that you do, and we'll really be able to see what plays were left on the field. Was it O-line? Was it scheme? Was it Lamar? Was it the route? Was it the coverage? Right. Because things got to get figured out as we start to play better teams. But like you said, 4-1, you can't complain about that.
Exactly. We can nitpick, and which is what we're doing. We out nitpicking.
Yes.
We nitpicking.
Because it's Super Bowl or bust. It's playoff win or bust. So we know in the playoffs, this doesn't fly. To get to a Super Bowl, this is not going to fly. So as much as we are nitpicky, we know Lamar set the standard last year. Lamar set the standard his rookie year. You've been to the playoffs every year. You've beaten every team but Patrick Mahomes. So as much as people criticize Lamar's performance warrants criticism because he's done so well. So now all we expect is playoff wins in the Super Bowl.
I couldn't agree with you more. All
right now, Coach. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, you too, man. I appreciate it. Great call.
All right now.
Great call. And that's what Sunday is all about. Sunday is all about somebody other than myself, seeing the game and getting their opinion out there. And I see a lot of you guys in the chat box. I know somebody asked me, was I watching? And I'm watching, but I don't want to, spit my commentary about the chat box over somebody else talking. I was raised right. So let me get into the chat box a little bit. And again, welcome you. I appreciate you guys being here. And I'm just gonna try to sum the whole thing up. I ain't gonna even go into the stats too much more. I'm gonna give you, because it's almost 6. I'm gonna give you a bird's eye view of what I saw, like real quick. I'm gonna try to sum it all up. Offense. Well, I'm gonna start on defense. Defense, lights out, man. I couldn't expect a better game. A rookie quarterback. When you got a rookie quarterback in there, send them dogs after him and see if he can pick it up. Send the dogs after him. See if he can pick it up. And as slick and as good as Burrow is, and I like Joe Burrow. As slick as he is, he got overwhelmed today. His number one guy, the guy we normally don't cover, didn't show up, and I think he ended up getting hurt, which is AJ Green. Because in my 3 years of doing this show, we ain't covered AJ Green yet. But today, he was, I don't know if he's still kind of hurt or what, but you didn't hear much out of AJ Green. And Mixon, you didn't hear much out of Mixon until at the end of the game when they were driving and whatnot. So defense, hats off to you. Marlowe probably, like somebody said earlier, probably in the running for Defensive Player of the Year right now. Queen probably making a push for Rookie of the Year. He got a sack, a fumble, and a fumble recovery in the same play. He got two fumble recovers now. Speak of it, he got the fumble recovery for a touchdown too. So the defense was out there, man. I can't say nothing bad about the defense, nothing at all, other than Judon being outside a couple times and missing a sack. Special teams solid. Prochet looks like he's getting better at knowing what to do in punt situations. He actually bluffed catching a punt, and it got in the end zone. And he learning what to do because the first week he kind of blew it. And let's go to offense, which is the main topic of today's conversation. Let me take a water break on this for a second. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, the offense. Let's start up front. The O-line, Stanley was back, which is always good. So I don't have no criticism of Stanley. And I don't have no criticism of Bozeman. I don't have a criticism of our centers, Skura. But I'm going to do right guard. We're looking to find that spot, which is, I'm cool with that. We're trying to find, we're getting people's reps on tape so we can see what they do in game situations because there was no preseason to see that. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I was happy they was rotating guys in and out. That means they're giving people a chance to see what they can do so we can, on this stretch run, we can have a solid 5. Zeus. And, I made the comment about Dunlap getting the sack on Lamar. Zeus has never been a great pass blocker. So I don't know why we even, mad about that. Zeus is a run road grader. He's an okay pass blocker. Dunlap is not a slouch. He probably ain't been heard from a lot because from what I hear, on the broadcast, he don't like being down rundowns. All he want to do is rush the passer, and that's what he did. So and that's crazy. But and let's the backs. Last year when we were playing, and the year before that, Gus was running downhill. IvanEvans' favorite running back, I can't remember his name. He got cut this year or early last year. He would run our counters and powers, and then if we ran some kind of sweep or something, we'd throw the running back with the high number, Montgomery. I think it was Montgomery, or whatever. So whatever the guy was, he would run the outside zone type stuff. So now we're trying to run stretch and outside zone with. Hold on one second. Pause that. Trying to run stretch and outside zone with guys that are downhill guys. Gus is a power guy. Ingram's a power guy. Let Dobbins and Hill get them outside zone plays and them stretch plays because they can stick their foot in the ground and go. And yeah, we may get 3, 4, 5 yards occasionally with Ingram and Edwards on outside zone, but they ain't gonna hit like talking about it. They not gonna hit like you want to hit. Because outside zone, if you remember a couple years ago when Gurley used to run the outside zone with the Rams, it take one cut, gone. But you got to have the speed to get off through that second level. You can see that cut with Andrews and not with Andrews, with Gus Edwards and Mark Ingram speed. They ain't going to get through there. They may see it and get to the hole and get 3, 4 yards, but Dobbins and Hill can hit that thing and be gone. So, that's what that is right there. And Lamar just keep working, man, get better. Keep working to get better. It's early in the year. We got plenty of season, and we ain't lost but one game. So I got to bag up all for some myself realizing we hadn't lost but one game. But we got one more caller, and this is gonna be our last caller for the night. Let me get him back in here right quick. See if I can get him. 717. Who we got?
Hey, Coach. This is Thomas Morgan.
Hey, Thomas. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, actually. I was calling in to talk about something that I thought was a really positive takeaway from today, and that was seeing Devin Duvernay in the offense more, and specifically, seeing him doing different things. It's not like he's a one-trick pony they can put out there, and he can do that one thing. It's he can run that reverse, or he can go in and catch a pass on third down. I mean, we saw a couple weeks ago what he could contribute as a kick returner against Kansas City. I mean, he was the only reason that game wasn't over at halftime.
Yep.
And then today he gets the 42 yards on that reverse play, 42-yard rush, and then he got a big he had a third down conversion, or maybe he was like just short of the sticks on the second. I know it was a pretty key catch on one of those drives there. I think it was in the second quarter.
I think it was a third down, and he got to it. He had two targets on top of his rush, but his speed, man, we got to get him out there. We got to. He's looking like, and I know we went on this whole tangent about Boykin, but Duvernay is looking like our number 2 receiver right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got great hands, he's got great speed, and the way that he's been able to show those off in different plays, like I was saying, a catch on a third down, or a reverse, or a kickoff, he contributes in a lot of different ways, which a lot of rookies don't do. He shows the potential to be used in a lot of different schemes that the offense can put out there. When he's on the field, the defense isn't going to know exactly what he's doing, and he can still make an impact on every play. It's not like he's a decoy. So
yeah,
that was really exciting.
I like that was a great pickup by DaCosta getting him, because he's turning into our third receiving threat. He's turning into a guy that, not necessarily the receiving threat, he just turned into another offensive threat, so to speak, because he can run it like what you saw with the reverse screen game. He can be deadly in that, and I think if he not have another couple of inches of field, he scored in that reverse, because the dude barely pushed him out of bounds, barely.
Yeah,
because his base is so strong.
Yeah, he had a mile of green grass ahead of him.
Yeah, but it's early, man. I'm not gonna be as critical because we still won, but because Lamar has set the bar so high, that's why we own him like this. Lamar came out with an amazing rookie year and winning the MVP last year, so I don't think we hate Lamar as Jay Sway may think we all hate Lamar, but we expect so much more out of him because he's our guy. He's the face of the franchise for us, and probably if not for Pat Mahomes, he's probably the face of the NFL, and we just expect so much out of him. We expect him to be elite every week, and that may be us putting too much pressure or having an expectation too high for him to be elite every week, because people are actually scheming for him now. So now he has to learn to be, and I hate I'm finna use this term, now he has to be LeBron and trust other people to do work. And I don't know if you follow basketball, everybody's been killing LeBron for passing that ball the other day. And I'm a Miami Heat fan, so I'm glad he passed it. But everybody's been killing LeBron for passing the ball. Now Lamar got to get confidence. He got to trust Duvernay. He got to trust Boykin. He got to trust Boyle. He got to trust other people other than Hollywood and Andrews. Because, as a defensive coordinator, I'm going to scheme to stop those two. And if you beat me in another way, so be it.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison, actually. I hadn't thought about that before, and I'm not a huge LeBron James fan. I follow NBA a little bit. But I always thought that even even not being a LeBron fan exactly, I thought he always took too much heat because when you're talking about, well, you lost 6 times in the finals, you're still talking about a guy who's been in the finals, 10 years, 10 times in his career, so
Mm-hmm.
um,
And
a
like
little
Jay
bit,
Will just said in the chat box, Lamar still, and he not 24. He's still a
yeah,
barrel out of his teens, so
and
to speak.
Ravens fans who've been around for a while remember what it was like before. Well, obviously before Lamar Jackson, but even before Joe Flacco, we had,
Kyle Boiler,
Kyle
Tony
Bullard,
Banks.
Chris Redmond.
What was the
We had
quarterback
one
that led
good
us to
year
the
with
playoffs?
Steve McNair. We had a good year with Steve McNair. We had like one good year with Vinny Testaverde in the mid '90s.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not one of these guys who's gonna act like the sky's falling.
Because it's not. It's not.
Or hold people to absurd expectations. But there've definitely been some issues with the offense, and it's important to point those out. But I think there's, for as much of that's been going on, there are also some positive things. Like I called in about Duvernay. That's a great sign, to see how he's been able to deliver early in the season, and hopefully we'll see more of that. And the same with J.K. Dobbins. Hopefully he can make some more plays. It looks like they're starting to run Gus Edwards a little bit more too. I think there's a lot to be looking forward to.
Yep. And I agree with you 100%, man. It is what it is. We just got to clean it up. And Thomas, I appreciate you calling in. I don't know if you guys know this, but Thomas has been one of the guys that have been following my streams when there were 5 and 6 people joining them. So I appreciate you, man, for all the support for over 2 years now. Because this is my 3rd season doing this. I really do appreciate it. It goes a long way, and you notice the people that be around all the time. You do, and I just want to say thank you for being one of those people.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, your videos are always worthwhile, and especially when you get some folks calling in and you get to talk with some fans right after a game. Your film breakdowns, they're great, man.
I appreciate it.
Man. They're great.
I appreciate it. I got one more shout out to give, and I'm gonna shut this thing on down, man. Appreciate you, Thomas, for calling through. But I gotta give this shout out.
Night.
You too, buddy. Gotta get this shout out because we always miss it, but I ain't miss it today. I didn't miss it today. Let me see if this worked. Miss Antoinette, she came through in the Cash App, so we ain't gonna have to delay it this time. I want to say thank you for coming through with the Cash App donation. I appreciate it. We ain't got to wait till next week to delay it. Miss Antoinette came through and she getting her roses today while they fresh. I appreciate it. But as far as the one last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna wrap it up so we can go watch the rest of Sunday football. It's early. We just got to put it together for that back 8. We got to put it together for that back 8. Them back 8 games heading toward the playoff, that's when it needs to be clicking. It'd be great for it to click now. And, I'm kind of probably going against some of the stuff I said earlier. It'd be great for it to click now, but it don't have to click right now. We need to for it to click on their back 8, them ascending games to the playoffs. That's where it needs to blend and mesh and gel. This is still a filling out process. Them guys didn't have no OTAs. They didn't have no rookie camp. They didn't have no. They had a camp where they really had all they had was meetings because they couldn't get close to each other. So I mean, some people probably just not getting in football shape, if you want to be honest. And the superstars probably where they would be, but those guys like the Duvernays and the Proches and the Metabuke, those guys would have been in play some football by now. They'd have played some preseason games. This is the NFL we got this year because of COVID. And we complaining, we fussing, we bitching, so to speak, but we 4-1. We 4-1, and let's just leave it at that. We 4-1. If you get a chance to rewatch the game, do so and kind of find some things. I'm obviously gonna do so this week. But my closing remark is, I know I promised you guys I would do that Queen stuff, that Queen video last week, and I also promised my Patreon people that I would get them like my keys to victory this week. But I'm gonna just be honest with you, I didn't have the time to do it. I had 4 in my own game. I had 4 offensive linemen out with because they were around somebody that had COVID, so we took precautions and didn't let them practice or play this Friday. And so I had 4. No, I had 2 offensive linemen and then 3 patchwork guys. And I can't be more proud of them guys, man, because we rushed for 325 yards. So I'm gonna part with a little selfish pat on the back with 2 regular O linemen. We took some defensive guys and put them over there. We took a guy that hadn't played football his whole life, and we rushed for 325 yards. So, if you saw my IG, which is flaming right there in the bottom, the Sip the Tally Films, you saw a picture, of some of those guys that took part in that, man. But this is Coach Evans, man, with Sip the Tally Films, and you get your videos this week. If they drop film Monday night, you'll get something Monday night or early Tuesday morning, and then we'll make it work the rest of the week. Because my game this week is on Thursday, so you're definitely getting 1 and 1. Well, 1 for YouTube, 1 for Patreon. I'm gonna try to slide something else in there for YouTube, man. But I appreciate you guys for coming through. I appreciate 33 Lady Ram, Frankie B, Aaron, Jay Sway, always coming through. Jared, keeping it real. Miss Antoinette. Troy, Lunch Break Hot Take, which Lunch Break Hot Take was on the big podcast with IvanEvans last Thursday. I think they came in after I left. I was kind of in the car, in the cut, in the dark. Appreciate Robert Cannon. It was a great conversation going on in the chat box. And even though I didn't answer a lot of it, once I hang this up, I'm still going to go back and kind of read you guys' conversation. And it may be some of the things I talk about later on in the week, man. And you guys having a great conversation in the chat box is what it's all about. But again, enjoy your Sunday, man. This is Coach Evans with Sip the Tally Films. And Flock game, we 4-1. And we got the Eagles, next week, I think. So, hey, let's get ready.